So the objective of this game is to get 4 components that you need to grow a flower. In the forest, if you have the metal detector with you, you can find a gold pot needed to grow the flower, which seems inaccurate because metal detectors generally don't detect gold. At the lake, you have to get past a creature called the fibber, and then you can get the special water. To help you get past the fibber, in the city you can pick up a lie detector. Now I have actually tried a run where I wrote down the answers to every question the fibber asks you and got past without the lie detector, and that does work. However, it doesn't trigger the win condition at the end of the game. You still need the lie detector to do it. In the desert at the top you can get the soil, but before you can do that you need to go to the hills, where you can swap a radio for a set of sand goggles. In the factory you can get the city pass, and I think that's all 4 main objectives. Now there are so every run you can take 1 piece of weather equipment, which it basically tells you how to do that. It tells you what the weather's going to be, and then you take the appropriate one. You can also take 2 defensive items, and there are 4 random encounters. If you have the defensive item, you will win it every time. If you don't have it, you have about an 80% chance of winning. So the radio protects you against the fog encounter, the disguise kit protects you against grubble grabbers, the bubblegum protects you against blids for reasons which you have to read the novel that comes with the game for that to make sense, and the fright stick protects you against fright freaks. The RNG is not entirely random, so we're going to be manipulating that somewhat. And I've also worked out the fastest route through the game. So yep, that's basically it. When you have those 4 ingredients. Oh, there is one other important note: is when you take a route that follows one of the marked paths, you hit 1 random encounter. If you don't take one that has a path, you will hit 2 encounters, regardless of distance. So travelling from the centre to the hills is just as risky and just as slow as travelling to the desert. Because that makes sense. About as much as anything in this game makes sense. I also have a map of the forest for the forest puzzle, but you start in the bottom right. You have to avoid the tap gates and the capture gates and get to the point marked star. It's a pretty simple puzzle once you've made the map. If I can turn the correct finger on off, that would be good. Right, let's get to it. See if we can beat the time on this game and get a recorded attempt at the record. So yeah, this is a 1984 game, supposedly educational. I'm not sure what you were supposed to learn. It honestly just feels to me like somebody took a lot of mushrooms, wrote a story. Just, yeah, I don't know what, it makes no sense at all. I love how you have to pick option 2 to get part 1. That's better. Working timer. Blink. Metal detector for the forest. Radio because we need to swap it with sand goggles. And the disguise kit because we need to get into the factory. This is actually a lot harder when the pressure is on. So the story is that this is some evil capitalist bloke who's destroyed the world's wildlife. And he's using some underground creatures to do his mining, and he's paying them in bubblegum, which is why he has a bubblegum factory. This is one of the many random encounters, but you always survive an encounter with a pouncer, provided you pick option 2. So yeah, somebody in the past has hidden away the last flower of crystal on this planet is the and you have to help recover it. So yeah, I did make a forest map, which you saw briefly during the introduction. Again, knowing this is pseudo-random, I have checked which ones we can survive and which ones we can't. So we should be able to get through all the encounters on this route. I even forgot to mark on my timer when I got the goggles. Yeah, I'll go and fix that in post. Let's go back to the center. Because we can only take one piece of test equipment on each run, we have to return to the center every time. Heavy rain. Still need to play that game. So we want the water tester, light stick, and disguise kit. And we're going to the lake. Check out these quality 80s teletext graphics. All that time I spent getting the answers to all the questions, and you have to use the lie detector anyway. That is very annoying when the run failed due to that. Here's a fright freak. So again, I didn't mark the timer. Right, now we're going to get the soil. So for snow we need a warm coat. We need the soil tester from the desert. And we need a flight stick and a disguise kit. We'll go into the desert. Here comes another pouncer. You have about a 90% chance of surviving an encounter, because it's 100% if you have the right equipment and 80 if you don't. But after you exchange the goggles for radio, that chance is slightly reduced, because you only have one piece of defensive equipment with you, not two. So no, we don't want to turn back. Now we have the soul tester, and this time I remember to hit the timer. This is why we need the fright stick, because this one does actually kill you. And it's a slow animation. These are the blids, which we need bubblegum, which we don't have, but luckily with the RNG not being entirely random, we survived that one. Now we're in the final leg of the game. And another fright freak. And that's it, we just need to get home. And yep, after all that, it's quite a short run, despite spending several days analysing this game. And that's it, 7:44. Looks like I was faster while practicing this. So all this does is it gives you the code for part 2, which is you have to lie about your age to the face that challenges you to get into part 2. Because that's a great lesson to teach kids. Hey, if you need to get past the bouncer, just lie about how old you are. Not that I ever have done that. I did actually do a full run of part 2 yesterday, and I haven't analysed it enough for a speed run yet. So that's the end of the speedrun attempt, and what I think we should do now is random games from this system that are actually good.